Hey everybody, yep, I'm back. I had the flu for most of this week, but I'll tell you about that another time. Let's get right down to the business of catching up. The LA, the LA Chargers. That's right, the LA Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers is the result of Dean Spanos basically pulling a last minute move and saying, I'm going to leave and become Los Angeles. Now, how did we get here? What transpired to have this happen? Well, last year at the NFL owners meeting in Houston, the National Football League passed a resolution that, making a long story short, gave San Diego the first right to come into, move into Los Angeles to Inglewood and share the stadium. Really, not so much share, but be a tenant in the new Inglewood Stadium that's being built by Los Angeles Rams owner Stan Kroenke. Raiders have the second option. Now, as the commissioner is fond of pointing out, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, the Chargers and Dean Spanos, their owner, did not immediately jump to Los Angeles, which means that they would have had to find a temporary place to play. No, they tried to work out a deal to stay in San Diego. What happened was that a stadium initiative was established that called for a gargantuan increase in the sales tax, the hotel tax, about a 6% increase in the hotel tax to build a downtown stadium for the Chargers, really a combination downtown football stadium and convention center. Well, that was not popular to begin with, that plan, and failed at the ballot box. Rather than try to work out another financing plan, Spanos went to the NFL owners and said, in fact, he did this in New York, and said, I need additional help. And the owners basically said, well, if we help you and give you more help, it's going to set a precedent for others in this. They said no. The dean thought, okay, well, if you don't want me to stay there, I'm going to go to Inglewood. And so here we are. Now, here's the catch. Spanos is going to spend $650 million to move, the relocation fee. And so everyone is saying, wait a minute, you couldn't at all work out a deal that involved you spending an additional $650 million to stay in San Diego, but you're telling us you're going to spend $650 million to leave? That's what that's all about. And hey, that's exactly what the Chargers have elected to do. The Chargers will not do well just going up the coast. I've said that before, I'll say that again. But for those of you wondering why San Diego doesn't seem so sad, well, it's not true. San Diego is sad. And there are a number of Charger fans that are sad. But overall, the Chargers are only one attraction, and not by any means the biggest one in San Diego. That distinction goes to San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con was established in 1971, originally in Oakland, and then moved down to San Diego. What it is a convention that celebrates comic books and all kinds of different media that feature comic book characters at the center of their presentations. For example, Disney and Marvel with the Marvel movies and the vast number of television shows that have been created, like Supergirl and others, right? That's what Comic Con is about. Comic Con San Diego has grown to fantastic proportions. It attracts about 150,000 people, 160,000 people annually, and they cap the number of badges. And really, you could make a strong case and say that it's 200,000 people every year. But even though Comic Con is for the 1 year, its search pattern for the entire year is 4 times greater than that for the San Diego Chargers. And that's not just current. That's also going all the way back to 2004. That's right. You want proof? Go to Google Trends yourself, type San Diego Chargers, and then in the compare area, type San Diego Comic-Con. It'll come up. And then look at the side-by-side comparison. The San Diego Comic-Con result is in red, and you will see that the red result makes the blue result look like a giant compared to a regular person. It's that much different, and that much greater, excuse me. Now, what that translates to is more attention for San Diego, more activity in San Diego with respect to Comic-Con, more money, businesses thriving, everything, because of San Diego Comic-Con, excuse me. That's what that means. And yes, more than the Chargers. Something else that has to be considered, the Chargers play in Mission Valley, outside of San Diego. Comic-Con's in the center at downtown. Also, Comic-Con, the nature of Comic-Con is around the person. And as I always tell people, one thing you have to remember is that, particularly in entertainment, people are voyeurs. They want to know about people, not things, but people. And Comic-Con presents the best platform around which people can find out about other people, and specifically people who are fans of characters like Supergirl, or the characters from The Walking Dead, or the characters from the Game of Thrones. Both The Walking Dead and the Game of Thrones are perennial Comic-Con favorites. They also attract huge worldwide followings. And all of that comes to bear on San Diego for Comic-Con. So that is why Comic-Con is so much bigger than San Diego, the San Diego Chargers. That's the reason, okay? So anyway, I tried to get Dean Spanos together with San Diego Comic-Con executives. Why me? Because I cover Comic-Con. It's my mecca. I have covered Comic-Con the last 8 years in a row. Made more YouTube videos from Comic-Con than any other single person or media outlet. And I happen to cover the NFL. So I'm in a unique position, or was, to really kind of broker a deal to help San Diego not only stay, the San Diego Chargers not only stay in San Diego, but have a type of cooperation and partnership with San Diego Comic-Con. What happened was that while the Comic-Con executives were supportive of my idea and proposal and effort, at the end of the day, and I'll never forget it, one executive who I will not name was walking off to a meeting during Comic-Con, and I was trying to find this person when I landed. I finally did. And when I said, hey, Dean Spanos wants to meet with you, I had called the person prior to that. He was, rather than saying, hey, let me call him, what's his number, he had turned his back and continued walking to his meeting, and he said, have him call me. No, have him call me. Okay? Not, oh, I'll call him right now, or give me his number. None of that. None of that. To his credit, Dean Spanos was equally interested in partnering with San Diego Comic-Con, but hey, look, he didn't make any moves on his own to broker a deal either. Not at all. So, the Chargers are now going to be in Los Angeles. That's horrible for several reasons. First of all, the Chargers were not popular in San Diego because they weren't playing well and they were threatening to leave. There was no demand by anybody in Los Angeles for them to be there. That's the second reason. The third reason is that because of their existence, they're going to a degree, cannibalize ticket demand by Los Angeles area NFL football fans for the LA Rams. And finally, they simply don't have the inbred or installed fan base to compete with the established football organization activities on the part of the USC Trojans, UCLA Bruins, and then, of course, the other non-football organizations. It's not there. So, San Diego wins. San Diego could do without the Chargers, but the Chargers needed San Diego, and the Chargers really did need to join and partner with San Diego Comic-Con. They didn't do it, and the Chargers are worse off for it. And it could signal the demise of the National Football League over the next 20 years. In another video, I'll explain why.